Kandia with Kandia Haynesworth Designs, and thank you so much for joining in on this presentation of Phase 1 for the Embroidery Mentoring Program. And let's set the record straight that this program is a support and guidance-based mentorship for embroidery business owners operating a company in the dwelling which you reside in. Now, that doesn't mean that if you run an embroidery business from a boutique or a storefront that you cannot apply these strategies to your company. It is just that when I configured this program, I really took it into consideration what it was like to run an embroidery business from home when I had 6 children back in 2009. I had 4 foster children and 2 children of my own, and managing my family and balancing an embroidery business was tough. So I thought about all those areas that were neglected, all those areas that I needed support in, that I wanted to configure into this program. And so once again, this is a support and guidance-based mentorship for embroidery businesses, and welcome to Phase 1. I have learned over the years that when you have a clear vision, you get clear results. And so the foundation of Phase 1 is clarity. Phase 1 is configured of 4 components. Embroidery mentoring students have the task of performing assessments on each component. The most important assessment is the health assessment. At the end of Phase 1, students begin this mentorship with clarity and balance. Students cannot move on to Phase 2 until Phase 1 is complete. After Phase 1 is complete, students are sent a proposal for Phase 2. Since the Embroidery Mentoring Program is a pay-as-you-go program, students have the opportunity to accept the proposal for the next phase of this mentorship or withdraw from the program altogether. Phase 1 is the easiest of them all. Phase 1 invites me into your world. It gives me a clear picture of your lifestyle and how you operate your embroidery business. Phase 1 of the Embroidery Mentoring Program is free of charge, and it is included in the enrollment fee of $55. Students are given 7 to 10 days to complete Phase 1. However, an extension of 2 to 4 days are granted by request. I follow up with each student within a 3 to 4 day period after Phase 1 have been sent to you via email. I check on you guys just to see if you have any questions or how you are coming along. I don't bug you. I don't constantly send you emails. When you join a program, you constantly get, all these emails. I don't do none of that because I do understand what it is to run an embroidery business while balancing a home, managing your family, and plus some of us still work outside of the home. And so I don't flood you with, annoying emails or inspiration things. No, I don't do none of that. But I do check on you just to make sure that you understand the packet, you understand what your tasks are, if you have any questions, and just to see how you are coming along thus far. And then after the 6th day of Phase 1, the proposal for Phase 2 is sent for you to review and consider. Let's recap. In Phase 1, the topic is clarity. Students perform assessments on 4 components in their lives. Phase 1 invites me into your world, and it helps me learn important information about you as a student and as an embroidery business owner. Phase 1 takes about 7 to 10 days to complete, is free of charge, and is included upon enrolling into the program. Okay, before I let you guys go, I want to just kind of go over a few things that is really important about this program. For starters, an application must be submitted for consideration for the mentorship. Unfortunately, I cannot accept all of you who have applied to this program. I really want to help everyone, and I hope that you found some of my YouTube videos helpful to get started and give you ideas on pricing and so forth, but I can't help everyone, and I'll tell you why. This is not a generic or universal program like those other embroidery mentoring programs that you find on the internet. And the reason why I configured it this way is because when I started back in 2009, those kind of programs would not have worked for me. Okay, my circumstances were different, my embroidery business was different, and I needed something that was customized for me. I knew what my needs were. I knew what areas were being neglected, what areas I was struggling in, and I wanted to make sure that I included that into these programs that I have, these phases I have configured in the embroidery mentorship. All right, and so that's one of the reasons why I cannot make it generic or universal, because then that means that the same program is going to work for everyone across the board. No, it's impossible, because we don't all have the same kind of lifestyle or even the same budgets, to be, quite frank. So this program is different. Okay, you must be selected, and even if your application is denied, it is kept on file, and when slots are available or when they become available, I will shoot out an email according to who was next in line and so forth. And it's tough. It's tough when you are trying to balance everything, but you have made an investment for an embroidery machine, so I say don't back out now. Give it a shot. Take it up for consideration. Once again, you can apply for the mentorship program just to kind of see, what I will be, expecting. I ask you questions and I go deeper. And, I got to tell you that, I've had students who enroll in the embroidery mentoring program after submitting an application, after being approved, after submitting payment for the enrollment fee, and they complete phase one, only to withdraw once it's complete because they realize that phase two requires a little bit more work. Okay, phase two is when we will do our first assignment, perform our first assignment together, and they realize that I'm not playing. Okay, they realize that no, this is not a game here. I take my embroidery business extremely seriously. So anyone who is going to sit at the table with me, so to speak, you better be on board, because I take my embroidery business extremely seriously. Okay, those investments for those machines that I have in my studio, they were not given to me. No one bought them for me. I didn't win a contest. I didn't go into the local store and someone says, "Oh, girl, you're so pretty. You can have this $10,000 machine." No, that did not happen. All right. And so I take my embroidery machine very seriously, and I want to hear them running all of the time. And to have that happen, I have to constantly be in, review of what my business is doing and my system works. And that is why I am willing to share it with you all. But once again, some, embroidery mentoring students have found that phase one was easy. And it's not that phase two was so hard, it's just not as easy as phase one. And so, when they realize that, they get a little nervous and they backslide, or maybe they really consider what their circumstances are and realize, wait a minute, this is something that I can't commit to. I respect that, because to be quite frank, it only gets harder. All right, this embroidery mentoring program is not for a glorified embroidery hobbyist who likes to call themselves a business owner. No, ma'am. No, sir. This is a mentorship, and this mentorship, my dear, will require heart work. Not hard work, heart work. Okay, and I will tell you what the difference is. Okay, see, hard work is something that you build and sweat about. No, this is not something that you're going to build sweat over. This is something that you're going to go deep into your heart, okay, deep into your soul, and you're going to be forced to examine the thickness of your passion and desire to operate an embroidery business. My program forces you to stretch. To be quite frank, it forces you to come out of your comfort zone. And so this is not the program for everyone. It really isn't. I have to be clear. I don't mean to, be too brash, I don't, or brass. I don't mean to be, aggressive. I don't want to scare anyone. But if you think you are ready, apply. Okay? If you think that you are truly tired of operating your embroidery company off track, then consider applying to get on track. Okay, because to apply to the program, it will cost you nothing but about 10 minutes of your time. All right, and if if you are not ready at this time due to your health, due to your family commitments, and even finances, don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged, because everything, no matter what, everything have a season. Keep in mind, when I first started this embroidery business, I was, younger. I had 6 kids. Okay, I had other commitments that had nothing to do with my embroidery business. I had no mentor. All right, I made a lot of mistakes. All right, and years later, my life is completely different. I have no children in my home. In fact, my youngest son just graduated from high school and will be leaving for college in a matter of 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, and then I will have an empty nest. Okay, so you see, a decade ago, I had a house full of kids. A decade later, I have no kids. So, everything have its season. And I don't want you to be discouraged, because, your time will come. Your time will come. And so that's all I have for you today. If you like this presentation, give it a thumbs up and stay tuned for phase 2 so I can explain to you as the steps go along. And I am giving you a brief summary of the phases, because if you want to find out what the phases are in its entirety, join the program. Once again, phase 1, it consists of 4 components, but I only mentioned 1. If you want to find out those other 3, join the program. And you can always find me at KandiaHaynesworth.com on Facebook, or you can join the group Embroidery Boss on Facebook if you are an embroidery hobbyist or an embroidery business owner. And until then, I will see you next time.